we are learning now automation testing. Correct. For automation testing, what is the prerequisites? We need to have we need to have test cases ready. Correct. And we have discussed this yesterday. How frequently the test need to be executed, right? What kind of large data sets that are useful. There are a lot of other things we have discussed. Now, quickly, this is another area, the types of tests. Now we've discussed which test cases can be automated. Now this is what types of tests can be automated, right? These are types of tests. Now we know, right? This is where the manual testing comes into picture. If you don't know what is smoke testing, you don't understand what will be the smoke test cases. Correct? Now that is where you should have the manual knowledge. Now smoke test can be automated, right? If you have a test cases with us, smoke test cases can be automated. And don't ask me what is smoke testing. We already knew it, right? Let's not waste time on what is smoke testing. Right now, the next second type of testing is regression testing. So we can automate the regression test cases. So please remember, make a note of it. This is going to be an interview question. People will ask what kind of test cases can be automated. What type of tests can be automated? We should speak about these areas. Smoke test, regression testing, and right data driven test. Right now, this is something new word you're listening, and you will be keep on listening this data driven test. Okay, now what do you mean by this? The name itself says the test is driven by the data. Okay, test is driven by the data. So your automation. Oh, what is this? Why it is scripting? Okay, now your automation script will be running based on the data, right? So that is where it's called as a data driven test. Now, if you have a large set of data, we are not talking about one time user and login password, then it is enter into the website and doing other mouse operations or keyboard operations. I'm not talking about that. Whenever you pass large amount of data, it might be different, right? It might be example, a supermarket purchase data, right? It is every day there will be huge data, right? Or it is airline ticketing, or it's like an application form. So where you see lot of data movements, right? So that's where the applications are developed, and we make sure that the applications are in a good position to handle those kind of a large sets of data, maybe in automation or maybe in manual. Correct? Now we also discussed cross browser test. Right now, we will not be discussing what is cross-browser test. We all knew it. Now, what is that means? It means the automation test should be executed in multiple browsers. Correct? How we are going to do it? That is a different learning altogether, but it also supports cross-browser test. Okay. Any doubts so far? Hopefully, it should not be. It's
No.
all right.
No.
Okay. Now, these are the different types of automation tools available in the market. This this will be an interview question. People will ask, what are the different kinds of automation tools available in the market? So, and obviously, you should not be having knowledge on every automation tool in the market. But yes, you should know the names, right? The Catalan APM Test Complete, Ranorex, Selenium, Bug, Cypress, and Perfecto. Please make a note of this. This will help you to answer in the interview if someone is asking what kinds of automation tools in the market, right? So we'll not be discussing about all these automation tools. You know, the scope of learning of this course is about Selenium with Java. So we'll not be discussing about any of these tools here. But for the information sake, I'm putting a slide so that you can make a note. Let me know once you make a note quickly.
Yeah, one doubt here, Vinod, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Why? Sorry for asking doubts. No problem. Can ask.
Yeah. So Like perfecto, we can do it in manual. I'm not sure. Like perfecto, we can automate it as well.
It is the automation tools where you can use
It manually.
using this tool, you can do the automation.
Okay. So it's mostly used for mobile testing, right?
Yeah, it is all comes under the automation part. It is also now they are coming up with automation as well for other websites. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the information.
And see, APM also, it's like if you see on the screen, APM specifically they use for mobile app testing.
Automation.
So yeah,
Okay.
Mobile.
automation. Yeah, right. So these are all different areas where we will be focusing only on Selenium. Okay, so nobody will ask, what is test complete and all. But if you go with some basic knowledge, that will really helpful. And people expect, right? If you're working on multiple tools, that will be very good, but it is not going to be that easy working on multiple tools. But if you keep on working, if different experiences, different companies, right? So you will be working on these tools. Some tools, like some company might be using Catalan, some companies might be using depends on the project to project. Okay.
Got it, Vinod.
Now, okay, let me delete this one. Just going to be a confusion. Okay. Now, this is going to be a very important slide, important one to understand with. So please make a note of it. Let me know once you're done with writing.
You're done, Vinod.
All done?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait for 1 minute.
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. Now the first point, Selenium is an open source automation testing tool. Now this is the another name. Open source is very important terminology, which is used in place of, right, license not required. When somebody is saying for this software, license is not required, what is the other name? It is an open source. It means it is a free of cost, right? That is where you see the Selenium is more popular in the market. The only reason, the only reason is Selenium is free of cost, is an open source, right? So now someone will be asking, what is the why Selenium is so popular in the market? Why? What is the reason? One of the important reason is Selenium is a open open source. Okay, open source automation testing tool, right? So you need not require any kind of license to download. You can just go to the particular website and you can download it. Okay, now let me show you something. Okay, now let me share the screen. There is that screen. Okay. Let me know once you see the screen, okay? I'm sharing it.
Yes, we are able to.
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. All right. Now, now, when we say the open source, right? Open source, okay, agreed. From where can we download Selenium? Is the first question. Second question, what is the official website of the Selenium? Now, earlier, right, way back around 2 to 3 years before, the Selenium official, you know, website was Selenium HQ. It was like seleniumhq.org and seleniumhq.com was the official website. Now they have renamed it. Now this is going to be your official website for the Selenium. So I want you to go through this website today. I'm just pasting in the charting window so that it is helpful. Where is that? Yes, okay. Okay. Please make a note. Please make a note in some notepad. It is simple. If you go to Google also, it will come, but it should be handy. You should say what is the official website of Selenium. You should say selenium.dev. Earlier it was seleniumhq.org. Now it is Selenium dev. Okay. Selenium dev. Here, if you can see, it has all the information about the Selenium. Now, where can I go and download? I can go to this download section. Right now, what course we are learning? Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp, Selenium with Java. What are we learning?
Selenium with
Selenium
Java.
with Java.
Selenium with
Java. Correct.
Java.
Now, right now, in that case, should we go to .NET, Ruby,
No,
Python, or Java? Which one we should go?
Java.
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 Java, right? So
Java.
this is where you should look at it. This is where you should look at it. Okay. Now, very, very important. Make a note. What version are we learning? Selenium
4.29.
4.29. Now, officially, we are learning Selenium 4. Okay, make a note. Selenium 4.29 is your version. Now, why I'm specifically talking about .29, we'll come to know. When it got released, February 28th. Make a note. These all things will be helpful for the interview when you go. People will ask, what is the current version of Selenium? Did you work? When it got released? That shows you are how much confident, how much good you are in reading those updates. Okay. Now, once you're done, so just we'll go through this website for a few seconds. Now, see, it has. I want you to go through this website. This is the website where you keep on visiting frequently. Okay. Now, if I go to this website, right, you have a lot of information here. If I go to about Selenium, now it shows how Selenium has evolved in the market. What what are the different partners, right? And very, very importantly, every time you open Selenium, you find this on the top. You see, registrations open for Selenium conference. So every couple of months, every month, right, there will be activities happening around the world. Few things happens in Delhi, Bombay, every country, every state has some kind of events happening. So I strongly recommend, right, if any sessions happens like this, right? So if you go to Google and search Selenium conference, if you have time, this will really, really help you to get more knowledge on Selenium. If somebody wants to really understand, about Selenium and what is happening in the Selenium, how this actually Selenium came into picture, what are the new releases? Go to the YouTube channel and search for the Selenium conference. Okay, it will display Delhi, Bombay, wherever conference is happening, it will display all the information. Go to that website, go to that YouTube, right? You can study and get more knowledge. Okay, right. Having said that, now once you familiar with this website, right? Now understand where should we go and download. So all your download section has all information about the Selenium. So whatever you need, you can just go and download it from here. That it, I should not be telling from where you supposed to download. Please make sure that you are downloading from the respective website. Got it now? Right? You know what is official website, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we know.
Right?
Yes,
So
yes.
people
Yes,
should
Vinod.
be, yeah, people should be handy. Okay. Now, what is that you seeing on the screen now?
Features of
Selenium
Selenium.
Selenium
features.
features.
Yes.
Selenium features.
Right. Okay. Now, we understand, right? Now we understand from where you need to download Selenium. Okay. Now we understand that Selenium has certain features. What is the first feature? It is an open source. And we saw where can we download. Very simple. Now, what is that language support? Why Selenium is so popular? This is where, because of these particular features only, Selenium is more popular. Now, what do you mean by language support? Right now, Selenium allows, right? It gives a flexibility to an automation tester to write the test scripts in different languages. Make a note. Selenium allows a automation tester to write test scripts in a different languages like Ruby, Java, Python. Give me 1 minute, okay? Hey, sorry guys. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Now, what do you mean by language support? What I was saying is like the Selenium will give us the flexibility to the automation tester, but not only to write in a Java. We see we are learning Java, right? We are learning Java, and with the help of Java, we are going to write the Selenium scripting. But apart from Java, you should also know that Selenium also supports. It means Selenium can be also written with the help of Ruby, with the help of PHP, with the help of Perl, Python, JavaScript, and C Sharp. So you should be knowing, right? Apart from Java, Selenium also supports Ruby, Java, PHP, Perl, Python, JavaScripting, and C Sharp. Okay. Now these are the multiple languages like Selenium is supporting. Is it not that great? Right? It is not only Java, it is supporting all the languages. All any developer, right? When I say developer, anyone with a good programming knowledge from PHP, from .NET can write Selenium. See, methods are same. Here, please understand the logic. Selenium methods are same, but the programming language which is used to write the Selenium will be different syntaxes. Java will be having different syntaxes. .NET will be having a different syntaxes. Perl will be having a different syntaxes. Right? Hope it is clear now. Selenium supports what kind of languages?
Python,
Python,
Ruby,
Ruby,
Java,
Java,
Python,
dot,
Java,
PHP,
dot
Perl.
C,
C Sharp,
Right.
PHP.
JavaScript.
Right.
PHP, Perl, JavaScripting.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Now, what is the browser support? Now the name itself says it supports browser. Now what kinds of browser it supports? You can write the script. You can invoke the script in Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and Internet Explorer. And see, out of all these, right, frequently used is Google Chrome for automation and sometimes Firefox. And rest of all depends on the project requirement. If someone is asking, now this needs to be executed only in Edge, then you will write the scripting for Edge. But but Selenium supports any browser irrespective of different how different it is. Might be Chrome, it might be Firefox, it might be Edge, it might be Safari, it might be Internet Explorer. That is fair. That is fair. This is another reason where Selenium is more popular in the market. It supports multiple languages before point, multiple browsers this time. Correct? Now, in terms of scalability, right? So what do you mean by scalability here? Now, it can be easily scaled. It can scale up, it can scale down. Now, depends on what kind of test cases you are operating. Depends on what kind of test scenarios you are doing it. It might be different kinds of user interactions, right? So you can see what all things, why test cases, why test scenarios. We make sure that the whole functionality, right, is covered within this test scenarios and test cases. It means indirectly we are saying our test coverage is completed. When we say you have written the test cases for a particular project, it means that you have covered all the scenarios, correct? Yes or no? If you say that, hey, I have completed my test cases for this. So what do you mean by that? It means the, if I say that all test cases are passed, my test coverage is completed. It covers whole functionalities. So it doesn't mean that you only write the test cases for, let's say, smoke testing. Smoke testing will not cover whole functionality, right? It covers only the important part. So now I'm telling about normal test cases you write for the whole project. I'm not talking about specific regression or specific, the smoke test. Okay. Now, when we say test scenarios, test cases are written for this project, it means that we have completed the complete test coverage. Now, irrespective of how many test cases that you write, right? If you write 100 test cases today, you can still automate. Tomorrow, if you write another 20 cases to it, you can scale up. You can increase your automation script. Let's say you wanted to remove few test cases, you can remove that kind of a test scripts from your scripting. Correct? It means whenever you need, you are scaling up. You are increasing your test coverage by adding more test cases, adding more test scripts. Whenever is required, depends on the requirement, you are reducing the test scripts, you are removing the test cases. That is where the scalability comes into picture. Now, the next one is very, very important, reusable test scripts. Okay, so what do you mean by reusable test scripts? Now, example, you have written a test cases for the e-commerce platform, or you written a now let's go step by step. You have written a test cases for the e-commerce platform. Now, the e-commerce Amazon, let's say we got a project, Amazon project. Just give an example. You have written a test cases, you have executed projects successfully delivered. Now we got another similar project like ABC company launching a e-commerce platform. Can't we use the Amazon test cases just by removing the Amazon name and adding the ABC company name inside it? Can't we use, can't, I mean, when I say, can't we reuse those test cases to this company? Yes or no? Can we reuse?
You can use reuse.
Yes,
Yes.
Vinod.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, we know you can reuse the
Test cases.
Test scripts.
So reusing is very, very important. So you need to understand when it is going to be a reusing. Now, the same scenario, can't I replace the name of the company in the automation scripts just to doing some kind of a minor changes? Can't I reuse the automation scripts? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Right?
Vinod.
Yes,
The
Vinod.
functionality remains same, right? The functionality remains same. The login remains same, right? Product features remain same. Payment gateway remains same. Almost 90% of the scenarios, it will be same in e-commerce platform. All you need to do is reusing the existing script. So the script what you write in Selenium, it gives an opportunity to reuse whenever we want to use it for other projects or depends on other requirements. Hope it is clear why we call that as a reusability,
Yes, clear.
guys.
Yes, Vinod.
Okay, that's very important, reusability. Though it is not mentioned here, thought of bringing to your attention. Now, what is a parallel testing? Okay, now we have done this, right? It means that what? Parallel test execution. It means it will test parallelly. It means that concurrently it will test. It will execute. Example, if you want to execute on a multiple operating systems or on a multiple browsers at a time parallelly. So once you run the script in one system, right, it will run the script in other operating systems and other browsers. Okay, that whatever you're doing, it that called as a parallel testing. Concurrently, you're testing it, right? You're testing on it different environments, different browsers parallelly. That's called as parallel testing. So Selenium also supports this parallel testing, right? And that is where it has become more popular and more efficient in the market. And the next part is very, very important. This documentation and reporting, right? By default, and by adding very few what we call, if you understand this, if you add few libraries or few jar files to your existing script, it will generate nice and good looking, right, reports, which is very much required once your test script is executed, right? Now it also provides the execution logs. Now execution logs, what do you mean by log? Logs are your 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 execution progress. It is kind of a documentation where it shows how your script is running, which, right, where is your current script status? Is it failed because of something? It is running. If it is running, what stage it is in? So the console shows, your script console shows everything about your execution process. Okay, now this is also very easily why we need the documentation or why we need reporting. It will help us to track the test results, right? And also definitely, right, the report, whatever it is generating, the logs it is generating, it will definitely help the person or the automation tester, right, where he can focus more, whether this area needs more focus or other areas needs more focus. Generally, that report, whatever report is generated, that report gives him the brief understanding. Okay. Now, the another next point is user experience testing. Now, what is user experience testing? We generally know what we do, right? Manual testers, what we do, we interact with the we interact with the application, right? Generally, right? If I'm a user, right? If I'm using IRCTC, I will expect that the particular website will give me a smooth experience. If I'm using a Make My Trip website, that website should give me a smooth way of booking the ticket. If I'm using your IRCTC, I should be able to book the train ticket easily. I should cancel my train ticket easily. I can change my, right, whatever the berth here to upgrade or downgrade, whatever. That should be the smooth experience. Correct. So in order to say that particular website is having a smooth experience, you should interact with the website, right? You should, whatever user will be doing it online, you will be doing as a manual tester. The same thing, the same interactions are automated using the automation simply. Correct. So why are we doing that? To make sure that the particular website is giving a smooth experience to the users. So we also discussed in one of the manual testing concept, usability testing, if you remember. Now, what do you mean by usability testing? How your application is right, behaving? Is it user friendly to the user? Is it displaying if something is not working properly? It is displaying proper English. Is it displaying the programming language information, or it is displaying with a user understandable language? That is called as a usability testing, right? Now, these all things are verified with the automation testing. Now the next part, which is last one, I think we have discussed yesterday. CI/CD. What is that CI/CD full form? Can someone tell
Continuous
me?
integrity, continuous
Continuous
development.
integration and continuous development.
Development.
Yeah, it is continuous integration, not
Integration.
integrity. Continuous integration, continuous development. I
Development.
strongly recommend go to YouTube, try to understand what is CI/CD. Okay, that will be really, really helpful. Go through that what is CI/CD. That will really gives you good understanding of what is continuous feedback, continuous development, continuous integration. Now, what is CI/CD coming into picture with respect to automation, right? Selenium can be integrated to CI/CD pipelines. Now, there is a certain pipelines where the code will be deployed. Once the code is deployed, there will be a regression suit runs. Once a regression suit runs, it will give us a report. Is there any failures? That failures will be assigned to the developer. Once developer fix it, again a regression suit runs. So this pipeline will be set up automatically without your involvement. You should not be there physically to test the regression testing. It's all automation, right? Everything is automated. So there is a pipeline that's called, that is why see a pipeline. Now in a normal, we see a lot of pipes connecting together, right? In apartment or in individual houses, pipe connecting from the tank, it is going to multiple rooms, multiple kitchens, multiple bathrooms. The same way, the code, whatever, here the water is a code. Okay, tank is where the actual development is happening, and water coming from the tank to the different areas. That is where the code coming from the pipeline from the tank, which where all should go, that is defined by the pipeline, right? If water should come into kitchen, then if you open the tap only it will come, right? Though the water is inside the pipe. The same thing, the code which is actually developed in the tank, example, what we have taken, that will be routed to the different areas based on the project requirement. Whether this code should go into this environment, this should go into other environment, right? That is a DevOps process where the DevOps engineer and the DevOps architect will be setting up this pipeline. Like, the plumber will do the work, right? The pipeline. Here in IT sector, we call that as a DevOps. Now, no, don't tell me that, plumber and DevOps engineer both are, you know, same. I'm just taking an example. So obviously, DevOps engineer is a highest position in terms of, the IT market and in present market, right? Okay. Now, hope you got what is the CI/CD pipeline at a high level. Now, every time there is a code change, automatically your your automation test suite that we have discussed suite will execute, and it will help you to identify the issues in the development cycle. And why we use CI/CD? It is more faster and more reliable whenever we are releasing the code to the production environment or different environments. Any doubts on these points, please?
No, Vinod.
No,
No,
Vinod.
it's clear.
Okay. Okay, let me stop it. Let's see, where is this one? Okay, so we have another, we'll do one thing. Practical part can we see tomorrow?
Yeah, yes,
Is
Vinod.
it fine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, Vinod. Yes, Vinod.
Okay, Vinod.
I don't want to rush because practical is something I want to be very clear when we have a session. Okay. And we'll complete this part and we'll move on to the next part. Okay. What is that sound, Rajalakshmi? Go on mute. Guys, what is in the screen now?
Selenium history.
Selenium history.
Okay, make a note of it quickly. Just make a note of this point. Selenium 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 quickly. Whatever it is looking like, just make a note. Is it done?
Yes, Vinod.
Everyone, I don't know where are the cameras? I don't know. Why are you switching off the cameras? Don't know what is happening. You're not. Whenever I'm seeing you're switching on, otherwise you're switching off your camera. Huh? Now, whenever I see if someone is switching off the camera, then that person should sing a song to entire team. Huh? You know, if I start singing, everyone ears will start bleeding completely. You'll stop giving classes throughout your life. Now, don't tell me all those filmy dialogues, okay? Okay, so here the important takeaway, right? I don't want you to get into the complete history. Okay, so you need to understand at high level. Obviously, right? Every everything which is invented into this market definitely will have a birth date, right? So when it got birth and what when exactly the implementation happened and all. So I would recommend, if you're really interested to know further, we went to a Selenium official website into that history page, right? Nicely, detailedly they have laid out. So Jason was a person who's actually started working with Selenium actually. He actually coined the term of Selenium. Right. There are what multiple stages, multiple companies have contributed. So go through the website and nobody will ask you about the history of the Selenium in any of the interview. But yes, you should know what is Selenium 1.0, Selenium 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. Now, Selenium 1.0, when it got released into the market, they have released with the three features. One is Selenium IDE. Now you're listening this word for first time, people who are already covered the initial videos, but whoever has not listened to this is a IDE, integrated development environment. Okay. So Selenium IDE, when it got released into the market, they have released with the three features. One is IDE, second one is RC, which is remote control. Not a TV remote control. Is it TV remote control? No, it is not TV remote control. It is a Selenium remote control. Okay. So people call that as a RC. Okay. IDE, RC. What is IDE stands for?
Integrated development
Integrated
environment.
development environment.
Integrated development
Inte-
environment. Right? Okay. Now, along with that, they also released a grid. Now, grid we'll discuss. I'll give you an overview. What is a grid? I'll give you an overview. What is an RC? I'll give you an overview. What is an IDE? Okay. Now, Selenium 2.0, they have started with a term called WebDriver. We'll also understand what is WebDriver, but just for a version sake, what version has got what features? Just try to understand this. Okay. So Selenium 2.0 had a multiple new features, which is a WebDriver which got added. Now RC was there still, and this time the Selenium version was 2.53. What is the current version that we are learning in Selenium? 4.29.
4.29.0.
Yeah, right. 4.29 is our current version. Right. Earlier, when Selenium 2.0 was released in the second term, which is 2.53, and grid was there always. And this time, grid was something where they have added few features to it, and we'll try to understand what is a grid. And Selenium 3.0, where the version was 3.141 for the WebDriver, and W3C spec was added. Now, what is W3C? It is Worldwide Consortium, right? We know WWW, right? So, like this, W3C is the entity. W3C is the entity which controls how, what are the, it's like, it will define the rules and regulations, how internet should run, what kind of, when someone is hosting a web page, what kind of policies that they follow. So this is all defined in the W3C spec. Spec is nothing but specifications, right? Now, because we are working on the automation, because we are automating web pages, that is where this came into picture. W3C is something which has defined what level of automation we can do to a web page, right? You cannot go and touch any website, any web page and do the automation. So there should be a certain procedure, right? That is certain protocol where to this extent you can do the automation. That is defined in the W3C. So as a automation tester, I don't suggest that you need to know all in depth of it, but you should know W3C is the entity which set up a guidelines, right? Which is mentioned in the specification. Worldwide, right? W3C consortium, World Web Consortium, WWC. That's a different naming convention, but yes, we'll not get into too much detail. It is not at all useful, but just to know that there is a W3C spec. Now the current version is Selenium 4.0, and to be more specific, we are learning Selenium 4.29, and after few days it will be Selenium 4.30, 4.32, keep on increasing, depends on your learning. If you learn quickly, it will be 4.29. If you learn today something, next week something, or next month something, it will be keep on increasing the versions. And WTC always there from the 3.0 onwards, and grid, a lot of robustic features has been added, and still we have a grid concept in the Selenium, and we have currently 4.0 version along with the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and we'll continue tomorrow. So I have another 10 minutes to get into another interview, right? So tomorrow, I think From tomorrow onwards, there will be only practical session. We have done with all the theory part. There is no much left out in the theory part, right? We have covered most of the theory, right? From tomorrow onwards, it will only be the practical. So please do not miss out the classes. Okay. So far, if you miss, also, I mean, I don't recommend it, but if it is you've missed also, that is okay. But from tomorrow onwards, if you're missing, it will be a big headache. So you will be asking unrelated questions to me. Already completed 2 days back. You're asking questions. You everyone will be forwarded. You will be behind. So plan your things. If you have any personal agenda like marriage, birthday, everything, please plan it. Complete the activity on day-to-day basis. Right? Let's say today we complete something. I'll give the assignments. Complete it tomorrow. Right? Now, if you don't complete on time, after 2 or 3 days, you will ask about the previous days, other 2 classes doubts. So it is going to be very confusing. Okay. So tomorrow we'll join. So can we have tomorrow a little bit more time? Is it fine? Can we spend more time tomorrow? If not 1 hour,
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes.
let me check
Yes,
my
we
calendar.
know.
Okay. Let me check my calendar. Tomorrow is Friday, right? What is that? Tomorrow is Friday. Friday,
Tomorrow
Friday.
is Thursday. Thursday.
Oh, sorry.
Tomorrow is
Tomorrow is
Thursday,
Thursday.
Vinod.
Thursday. Okay. Okay. So we'll do it little bit extra time tomorrow. So please try to accommodate, and we'll start doing the practical session. Okay. All right then. So I'll see you
Okay,
tomorrow,
Vinod.
12, same time. Any questions before we close?
No, Vinod.
No, Vinod.
Yeah, nothing.